I'm going to be talking about how to hack your body into a natural state of motivation. And that, of course, all sounds good and great. The thing is, it's a very, very vast topic. There are many elements and many facets to it, and I am by no means an expert in any of this, to be completely honest with you. Actually, I was hoping you'd pick something else for me, but there you go. So this is what you get. No, so there's a lot of things that I am not going to be talking about tonight. I'm not going to be talking about like yoga, for example, because while I have done some yoga, I am not enough of an authority on that topic. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to be talking about implementing habits either, because that's like an entire presentation in itself as far as I'm concerned. And while I'm going to be talking a bit about nutrition, I'm not going to be talking a lot about different diets, like the Atkins diet or the keto diet or the low carb, high fat diet and the burger diet and whatnot. I'm not going to be talking about any of those. Yeah, sure, whatever. And I'm not going to be talking about metabolism either. So there's a lot of things I'm not going to be talking about. What I will be talking about then are things that I have done and that I am doing that has given me and are giving me results. And I want to say that all of this is really good and great, provided that you have a goal, provided that you're following goal, provided that you are getting up in the morning for some reason, because I have also been in a place in my life where I was doing, if not all of these things, then many of them, and guess what? They didn't work because I wasn't having a very good time, really. I wasn't working towards anything. If you have days where you are so emotionally devastated that you are crying all the time, and if you don't have like a reason to get out of bed in the morning, then none of this is going to matter. So I'm not going to end on a high note and say go for your dreams and anything. I'm going to say it right away. Go for your dreams. Go for the goal. Go for the big dream. Because 4 years ago, I was down in the dumps. I was living back in one of the most rainy countries in the world, little old Denmark. And today I can pretty safely say that I am living that dream that was coming, that was taking form back then. And a lot of these things have supported me in it. The whole thing about body hacking and hacking in general is that we live in a society where our attention becomes much more diffuse, and you all know this, right? There's a lot of talk about distractions, digital distractions, our smartphones, our notifications, digital media, social media. We're becoming more and more distracted, so people have less and less attention, and people have less and less patience. So people want body hacking, and they want like those fast results. They want those get rich quick schemes, but guess what? It's a slow burn. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So I'm going to be talking about some general things. And however, if we could get that big lamp up there to go out of the way, you would be able to see that at the end I'm going to give you 4 specific techniques. How about this? So that you can take away and do right away.
Want glasses?
No thanks, I've got some. With that, let's move on, and I am going to be talking about sleep. Who can tell me how many hours of sleep does an adult person need? Just on
7.
6, 7. I'm hearing 6. I'm hearing 8. I'm hearing 7. Okay, you're all about right. 6, 7, 8 hours per night. Some can do with only 6, especially if you eat very healthy, and some need some more, maybe especially if you exercise a lot. But in that general area, yes. Why do we sleep? Why is it important? Who can tell me?
Recovery.
Recovery.
Healing.
Okay.
Regeneration.
Huh? Healing. Regeneration. Okay, so yes.
Enhancing memories.
Also that. Good one. So recovery and healing and regeneration, restoring some memories. So what does that mean? Well, that means that sleep is something that we all need. In fact, we can't do without it. In fact, how would you say that you feel if you've only gotten half of the sleep you need and you get up in the morning at way too early after only 4 hours of sleep? How do you feel?
Hangover.
Cranky.
Moody? Cranky?
Hangover.
Hungover?
Hypomania.
Hypomania also, yes.
Depressive.
So, depressive. Okay, good.
Aggressive.
Aggressive, even better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Okay, so these are not some very great states to be in. Could we agree on that? Okay, and so would that be a very good thing for your motivation if you didn't get enough sleep?
Nope.
Okay, great. You're very, very smart. So get your 7 or 8 or maybe 9 hours of sleep every night, because apart from getting you more motivated to get up in the morning when you've actually got your 7 or 8 hours, what else does it do? Why else should we get a good night's sleep? Who can tell me? Like, I mean, in terms of our bodies, in terms of our physics, what does it do to us?
We lose our weight when we are sleeping.
Okay, good. Our metabolism, it raises our metabolism. Yes, what else?
Keeps your anxiety in check.
Keeps your anxiety in check. Very good. What else?
Focus better.
You focus better. Exactly. How many of you have tried to, how many of you have felt that you were unable to focus on things and that your memory was all blurry and you couldn't really find the words because you hadn't really gotten enough sleep? I think we've all been there, right?
What?
So go home and get some sleep, Carol. Okay. So and apart from that, it does a lot of physical stuff to it as well, apart from the metabolism. If you don't get enough sleep, that has been scientifically linked with higher risk of disease, higher metabolism, being more prone towards depression, serious disease like heart disease and cancer and whatnot. So why should we get a good night's sleep? I think these are all pretty good reasons, right? So a couple of things in that regard, though. Get up early. 90% of executives wake up before 6 a.m. on weekdays, and let's see if I can do this again here. 50% of all millionaires wake up plus 3 hours before their workday begins. Thank you. This is these. No, you can sit down. These are not so.
Sleep, man.
This is not accidental. Okay, people. These are not just random numbers. These are big fat patterns that we should all recognize and acknowledge. So getting up early, what that does and why so many successful people do it is because it gives us a head start. It gives us a psychological head start. And when you get up more than 3 hours before your workday begins, guess what? Okay, so you might be a little tired, but here's how else you could think about it. Okay, I've got 3 more hours ahead of the competition before everyone else gets up. And another thing it does is that the earlier in the day you get to cross the first task off your list for the day, or indeed your calendar, that gives you a sense of accomplishment. And with that sense of accomplishment comes, what do you know, motivation. Hey, okay, I'm really nailing this. I've got this. I am already doing this. So get up early, and if you're tired in the middle of the day, because let's face it, we all have those days, there's a couple of things you can do. Take a 15 to 20 minute power nap, not any more because than 20 minutes, because when you take a 15 to 20 minute power nap, it restores all your tiredness like that. But if you do more than 20 minutes, you get lower than the rapid eye movement stage, which then would be deep sleep. And I think we've all tried at some point sleeping 2 hours in the middle of the afternoon, right? And waking up at 5 p.m. and being all like, oh my God, what time is it? How long was I out? Oh my God. And then what happens? You gotta sit down and it takes you time to restore from that and recover from that. And it takes away 2 hours of your day at least. And a power nap only takes 20 minutes. So do the math, right? What else does 2 hours do? Well, it takes away from the quality of sleep of your night sleep, and then you feel shitty the next day and so forth. So that's a pretty shitty downward spiral right there. Okay. The other thing you can, I shouldn't have done this, but you can do 10 burpees. And for those of you who don't know what a burpee is, I guess I'm going to have to, okay. So I'm just going to do one, right? You do like this, and then you go back with your legs like this, and you do like a little jump. And do 10 of those. And if you feel like, if you think like you're going to feel like going to bed afterwards, no, you're not. You're going to be thinking of anything else but sleep. Because what that does, that was harder than I thought. What that does is it tells your body, okay, we're actually not tired. We are alive, we are kicking, we are doing it, we are active, we are strong. Okay, moving on. Nutrition. So, this is a vast topic again, and there's probably many presentations in the topic of nutrition. And for those of you who have tried to look into nutrition on your own, you're going to know that there's a lot of contradictory information out there, right? I think personally, the meat industry has a lot to do with that. They really want you to buy their products, but science says something else. And like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of different diets, and I'm not going to be getting into any of those. But what seems to be the way to go, and this is going to come as a surprise for nobody, is that vegetables and fruit and nuts and legumes are the way to go, and meat is not the way to go. Why is fruits and why are fruits and vegetables and everything so important for us? Well, they contain vitamins and minerals and healthy fatty acids and so forth, which gives us more energy, and they make our bodies feel better. Whereas meat has not only been inextricably linked with cancer, especially really processed meats like sausages and salami, and I'm so sorry guys, but bacon, it's all linked with cancer, and especially red meat like pork and beef and whatnot. So, because meat, unlike any kinds of fruits or vegetables, contain putrefactory bacteria. Okay, these are the bacteria that are generated when something dies. When a living organism made out of meat like you and I dies, it starts to rot. So what you're actually eating and what you think tastes oh so great is actually the same bacteria that makes meat rot. Okay. I'm still a meat eater, by the way, but I have gotten way down, and I hardly ever eat any meat on the weekdays. So, and again, in terms of motivation, if you fuel your body with something that is inextricably linked to not only cancer, but to a lot of other inflammatory diseases and cardiac diseases and like high blood pressure and everything, what do you think that's going to do to your motivation? As opposed to if you fill your body with something that has all the vitamins, all the minerals that you need, all the healthy fatty acids and so forth, it's pretty obvious, right? So I'm not going to be digging a lot into that. I will say though that also further in terms of motivation, we can actually, there are some kinds of foods that are popularly known as brain foods. So we can go directly for the noodle here. If we eat, and this is according to Jim Quick, avocado, blueberries, broccoli, coconut oil, eggs, leafy greens like kale and spinach, salmon, turmeric, walnuts, and fortunately for me, dark chocolate. These are all foods that have been shown to increase our cognitive abilities. So there's something you could do. Finally, in terms of nutrition, fasting. There are two different ways of fasting I'm going to be talking about here. There's the 5 to 2 days fasting model. What that does is that it means that you eat on, in my case when I have done it, on the weekdays, and then you fast on the weekends. Yes, for 2 full days. I would start to fast on Friday evening, and then I would start to eat again on Monday morning. That sounds pretty hardcore, and I can assure you the first time it truly is, and the second time, and the third time, and so forth. In fact, it kind of sucks, really, but you get over the hump, and when that happens, the most extraordinary thing happens, because that's when the motivation comes in. You feel like a boss. When you defy your body's natural craving for food, when you defy your natural instincts like that, you take control. And another thing that happens along with that is that the energy that would otherwise be going into your digestive system starts to disperse all over your body, so your senses become heightened. When you fasted for 2 days and 2 days straight, you will notice that smells are much stronger than before. Your entire skin is much more sensitive than it otherwise was. So you're going to be like on all fours, like you're going to be aware, much more aware of the world around you. You're going to see things much clearer. You're going to be able to solve problems a lot better and this all sounds very very extraordinary, but it's not really, and anybody who has done it can tell you. The other kind, and this is hardcore, and some of you are probably not ready to go there yet, so what you might do then is the 8 to 16 hours fast. This is something that I've experimented with as well, and while it does not give you that whole sense of enlightenment and awareness, it still makes for a better night's sleep, and it still makes for weight loss, because let's face it, I mean, that's if I didn't lose weight from fasting, I probably wouldn't do it, so that's a great motivator as well. Okay, moving on. Exercise. In terms of motivation, the reason that exercise works is because, like I talked about before with the burpees, when we exercise, when we keep our bodies active, then we're telling our bodies that we're active. We're doing things, okay? We are alive, we are youthful, we are vigorous, we are virile, we are energetic, and we are in control. Whereas if you have more like of a sedentary lifestyle, you know, if you're spending a lot of time lying down, then what you're effectively telling your body is that something might be wrong, because we usually lie down when we're sick, right? So you're telling your body that that you're not feeling very well, actually, and you're telling your body that you are probably getting a little old here, and you're maybe not as able to do things as you used to be. And look at those kids out there. No, I'm not going to bother with that. And in terms of motivation, that's not a very good thing to be telling your body, right? Now, as for the purely physical advantages of exercise, this can almost not be over-exaggerated enough. I mean, so I'm not going to bother with it, okay, because you all know why we should exercise, right? You all know why we should stay healthy. No point in elaborating on that, and we're much over time. 3 things I want to say, though. A little is always better than nothing. If you don't have time for any more than that, then go for a walk in the morning, because as long as you're keeping active, as long as you're sticking with the routine, then you're still telling your body that, okay, we're active, dude. We might not be active today, but we're still doing it, okay? So a little is always better than nothing. And exercise first thing in the morning. Why should we do that? Can anybody tell me? Why should we exercise first thing in the morning?
First achievement of the day.
First achievement of the day. Very good.
Oxygenated blood. Highly oxygenated blood.
Highly oxygenated blood. Also very good. Those are 2 very good things.
You get rid of it. Like, you know, you cross it out of your list.
Your day can't get worse.
Exactly. Very good. Very good.
Increased level of motivation.
Increased level of motivation. Very good. My God, you're all so smart. So our willpower are higher in the morning. Our willpowers are higher in the morning because we haven't had to make any big decisions yet, and nothing is in our way. We can just go ahead and exercise, as opposed to if we put it as the last item in our day. We all know what usually happens to the last item on our agenda, right? Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. No, not really, because you go the same place because other things are more important. No. The reason that 90% of CEOs get up early in the morning is to exercise. No kidding. So if you do what a CEO does, then you're going to be getting some of that. Could you do something about this? Okay, and the last one. Oh yeah. There we go. This you're going to love this. Sex totally counts as exercise. Huh? How about that? So apart from burning all the I mean, you got to put in some effort. You can't just be lying there. I mean, but apart from burning those calories, sex has actually been linked with not only a higher intelligence, but a higher income as well. People who are getting laid a lot are earning more than the rest of us. So I don't know about you guys, but it's worth looking into, I guess. If anybody wants to, I don't know. Okay, moving on. Here are some specific techniques for you. Known as the power pose. Tapping is a technique that's based on traditional Chinese medicine, and when some of you hear that sentence, you're probably thinking, okay, so there's going to be a sales pitch from some wacko scammer who's going to try to sell me snake oil, right? But the thing about tapping is, it's very, very easy, and anyone can do it, and nobody is trying to sell you anything. And I think that's a pretty good little rule of thumb. Is somebody trying to sell you something, or are they not? Can you just do it at home? Tapping works by stimulating the body's acupressure points. It comes from, it's related to the science of acupuncture. And what you would do in a sequence of tapping is you would find a theme or an area in your life that is currently causing you some pain or some distress or some worries. Rate where you're at on a scale from 1 to 10. How bad do you feel about it? Is it only a 1, or are you all the way up in 10? And then make a statement or two about that state or that topic. Could be something along the lines of, okay, even though I'm feeling all this stress right now, I totally accept the situation and forgive myself no matter what. And that's when you start tapping. You tap 5 to 10 times on a series of points on your body. It usually starts around the corner of your eye with your fingertips, then on the side of your eye, then on the lower part of your eye, then under your nose, then under your chin, under your whatever this thing is called, which I forget, under the arm, and on the top of your head. And you do that. That would usually be 4 to 6 rounds of that before before you start to feel a change. When you then end, you reassess yourself. Okay, how do I feel about that now on a scale from 1 to 10? It's usually gonna go down quite a bit. If you're still above 3 or on 3, you can repeat it, but with a slightly altered affirmation that pertains more to your current state. I have had great success with this. It all looks kind of silly, right? And believe me, I felt silly when I was doing it. But the first time I did it, I found myself laughing afterwards because I had such a huge relief. I was stressed out about nothing at all, really. The second time I did it, I found myself crying afterwards because I had been dealing with an issue that was very vulnerable and very harsh for me. So there was a lot of emotional release there going on as well. So tapping, I highly recommend. Again, nobody's trying to sell you anything. You can do it at home. Meditation. So for those of you who have been with us, like for every event, you probably know that at some point Andy's going to be talking about meditation. But the thing is, if it works, it works, and I truly believe that meditation is one of the 5 best things I have ever done for myself in my entire life. What meditation does, like I said on my last presentation on public speaking, the reason you should meditate before doing public speaking is because meditation allows us to explore and expand upon that window that there is between our automatic thoughts and our knee-jerk reactions to those thoughts. So effectively, by meditating, we take control back. We become more aware of our thoughts, like Marta was talking about earlier on. I believe as well that if there was ever a superpower in this world, then awareness is it. and meditation is the key to awareness. Apart from that, meditation has been again and again, over and over, scientifically linked with a lot of advantages purely physically, like longer lifespan, being less prone to depression and stress and cancer and inflammatory disease and whatnot. Again, if there was ever like any kind of superpower in this world, look towards meditation. You can thank me in 10 years when you get it done. And the thing is, you would be surprised at how many of these automatic thoughts that we have, but conversely, you would also be surprised at how easy it actually is to do, and because anyone can sit down 5 minutes per day and focus on your breath. So again, highest recommendations. Last thing, the Wim Hof method. I was going to say something about breathing exercises because I just recently started doing breathing exercises, but I thought I would present you with the Wim Hof method. If you don't know who Wim Hof, how many of you know who Wim Hof is? Okay, so there's a couple of you. All the rest of you guys. Wim Hof is from the Netherlands. He's an extreme athlete, and he is known for being able to endure really insane temperatures. As you can see here, this is how the guy meditates. He has run a half marathon on the Arctic ice, wearing nothing but those shorts. Or some other ones, I don't know. But the thing is about Wim Hof, he is only able to do that because of breathing exercises. All he does is hyper-oxygenate his blood, which then allows him to not only hold his breath for longer, but to endure much more apparently freezing temperatures. When I tried the Wim Hof method first time, it was like 4 years ago, and I felt euphoric. I felt like my entire body was electric. And I'm not going to do it in front of you here, but just to demonstrate, you would be taking 30 to 40 power breaths. A power breath is essentially thrusting out the air in your lungs really, really fast and then inhaling really fast. So like that, 30 to 40 times, and then at the final exhale, you would not inhale, hold your breath for as long as you can. And you'd be surprised at, I could hold my breath for like 2 minutes or something like that, which I'm not usually able to do. That says something about how the Wim Hof method works. It over-oxygenates your blood. And by the way, an added side effect of that is that it rids your blood of toxins. When you start doing breathing exercises, you might actually start to have cold symptoms. You might be coughing up some phlegm. That would be lymph, because over-oxygenating your body activates your lymph system. So, but anyway, after you have been exhaling for all that time, you would inhale and hold that for 10 to 15 seconds, and then you would repeat that entire process 2 times, effectively making it 3 times, and at the end, you meditate. And for those of you who are familiar with meditation, I will guarantee you that you have never experienced meditation like after doing the Wim Hof method. It's like you are alone in a vast cathedral that only consists of space, and there is nothing there but you and the sound of the universe, which is complete silence. It sounds like I'm describing a somewhat psychedelic experience here, but this is what happens. Okay, so guys, like I said, this is all things that I have done and that has helped improve my motivation. As you can see, there's a lot of resources and links here, so you're not going to be able to go home right now and tap. You're not going to be able to remember this. You're probably not going to be able to remember the Wim Hof method. So if you want to take part in all of these resources, then please drop us your email. We're going to be around for you afterwards. And give us your email and sign up for our mailing list, because we're going to be sending out all these slides and all these links, and we're going to be sending out a lot of goodies and free stuff. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to say thank you so much to the Innovation Campus for hosting this and for letting us be your primary event. We would like to thank all of you guys for showing up. And we want to hang around with you right now. So I don't know about you guys, but I could really go for a cold one right now.
Networking
so,
time.
Thank you.